Good morning, children. Hope you are all waiting for hearing the remaining part of the story, right? And in our last class, I told you to read this chapter till that. Have you all read? Yes, very good. So now let us complete the remaining part. Okay. So open your textbook, page number 3. Have you all taken? Yes. Now keep your pointing finger. The third paragraph. We finished till the second paragraph, right? In the third page. So today we'll start with the third paragraph. Okay. The stepsisters left for the royal ball, leaving Cinderella at home. She burst into tears and as she was crying, a voice called to her from the garden. She went to see who it was and surprised to see the fairy godmother. Okay, I will explain to you. So everybody left the home. Now only Cinderella was alone at home. So she was burst into tears. Burst into tears means she was started to cry. She's crying. At that time she heard a voice from the garden. So she was looking into that from where the voice is coming. She went to see who it was. So she went outside from the house and searching for the voice from where it is coming. And she was surprised to see a fairy godmother there. Fairy godmother means a fairy with magical powers. She came there to help Cinderella. Is it clear? Okay. Now move to the next paragraph. Do not cry, Cinderella, said the fairy godmother. You too shall go to the ball because you are kind and have a good heart. Bring me a large pumpkin, a rat and 4 grasshoppers. So what she is telling to Cinderella, the fairy godmother said, Cinderella, don't cry my child, and you too have the chance and you have to attend the party because you are a very good hearted girl. That means you are very kind girl. So you have to attend the party. So for that, now go to the garden and bring a large pumpkin. You know pumpkin, right? Yes, it's a vegetable. So she asked her to bring a big pumpkin from the garden. Then she asked her to bring a rat and 4 grasshoppers. It's an insect, right? You know that. Okay, so hearing this, what she did, let us see what happened in the next paragraph. Okay, now keep your pointing finger in the next line. Cinderella did as told. The fairy godmother turned the pumpkin into a carriage, the rat into a coachman, and the 4 grasshoppers into horses with her magic wand. Then she turned Cinderella into a beautiful princess and gave her lovely glass slippers to wear. Okay, now what is it? Yes. So as she ordered to get pumpkin, a rat and 4 grasshoppers from the garden, she brought all these things. So what the fairy godmother did, she knows as she is a fairy, she knows some magical powers. No, she came here to help Cinderella to attend the ball. So she, with their magic wand, she spelled some magic words and she turned the pumpkin into a carriage. C-A-R-R-I-A-G. Carriage means, what's the meaning of carriage, children? A big vehicle, usually with 4. It has 4 wheels. Okay, and it is pulled by horses. That is called carriage. C-A-R-R-I-A-G-E. Carriage means a big vehicle. Now we are using car, bikes for transportation, right? So like that, she has to go from here to the king's palace. So for that, this fairy godmother arranged a big vehicle. By using his magical power, she turned the big pumpkin into a big carriage. Is it clear? Okay. Then after that, what she did? She turned the rat with his magic wand into a coachman. Coachman means what? A driver for riding the horse. Isn't it? So coachman means a driver for riding a horse. And also she turned the 4 grasshoppers into 4 horses. then only the vehicle will move, right? So she turned the big pumpkin into a beautiful carriage. Then she turned the rat into a coachman for riding the vehicle, and she turned the 4 grasshoppers into beautiful horses. Is it clear? Now, then she turned Cinderella into a beautiful, now she arranged the vehicle for her transportation. Now she had to turn this girl, she's wearing, Cinderella, as she is working in the house, she has lot of work to do, cleaning, mopping, like that. So her dress, everything was torn and dirty. So she turned her also into a beautiful princess. That means she becomes a very beautiful girl with beautiful dress. And she gave her lovely glass slippers. We used to wear slippers, right? Now foot that is made of leather, plastic, like that. But here she gave her a beautiful glass slippers. Glass, it was made of glass. It was very shining to see. So she gave her a glass slippers to wear. So these are the things she arranged for Cinderella to attend the ball. Is it clear? Now look at the next paragraph. The fairy godmother wants Cinderella to return before midnight. See, here you can see 2 words given in green color, right? Want. What's the meaning of want? Want means she told someone about something dangerous that could happen. That means she ordered, she warned something. What she warned her? To return before midnight. Midnight means sharp 12 o'clock night. So she warned her, she ordered her, before 12 at night you have to be back to your home. Otherwise you will get into trouble, she said. This was, she said. Okay, now see the next paragraph. Cinderella arrived at the ball. The moment the prince saw her, he fell in love with her. They danced together till midnight. As the clock struck 12, Cinderella rushed out to her carriage, leaving one of her slippers behind. Okay, now let me describe this paragraph. Cinderella, so with this big beautiful vehicle, she traveled and she reached the king's palace and she attended the ball. The moment the king saw her, prince saw her, he fell in love with her. As soon as at that time she saw so many other princes have arrived to the party and they started enjoying the party. But at that time she re-entered to the ball, and once the prince saw her, as she was very beautifully dressed, he fell in love with Cinderella. Okay, she liked the girl very much. So he thought to marry Cinderella. So they started dancing together till midnight. Midnight means till 12 o'clock night. As the clock struck 12, Cinderella thought about that godmother's warning. She told her to come back at sharp midnight 12, right? So she thought about that and she rushed out to the carriage, leaving one of her slippers. So while she was rushing towards the carriage, she lost one of her slippers, glass slippers, on the way. She didn't care about it because her mind is full of what it is, godmother's words. She has to reach there at sharp 12. So she left one of her slippers there and she returned back to her home. Now let us see what happened in the next paragraph. The prince looked everywhere, but he could not find Cinderella. Then he found her glass slipper. He announced that if there was a lady in his kingdom whose foot size was the same as the size of the glass slipper, she would be his wife. So what does this mean? The prince looked everywhere. After that, she vanished from that place. After that midnight the clock struck 12. So the prince was searching for her around here and there, but he cannot find anywhere. Then he found her glass slipper. On the way, he found her glass slipper. So he picked up the slipper. He announced that if there was a lady in his kingdom whose foot size was the same of the size of the slipper, she would be his wife. So she announced the soldiers that please go and search the girl who has the correct size of this footwear. That girl would be my wife, she said. He said. Now let us see the next paragraph, the last paragraph in page number 3. The prince went to every house in his kingdom with a glass slipper to find Cinderella. All the young ladies, including Cinderella's stepsisters, please turn the next page, page number 5, the remaining part, tried the glass slipper, but it did not fit anyone. Finally, Cinderella tried the glass slipper and it fit perfectly. Perfectly means correctly, exactly, it fits for Cinderella. Okay, now let me explain this paragraph. So, the prince took this glass slippers with him along with the soldiers and keep on trying each and every ladies in different houses. He keep on trying, but no, it not suit for anyone. So finally he reached Cinderella's house. There Cinderella's stepsisters tried the shoes, tried the slippers, but it not fit for them. So finally Cinderella also tried this. Finally what happened? Because as it is her slipper, it fits her perfectly. Now see the last paragraph. The prince realized that Cinderella was the same girl who had danced with at the ball. Just then the fairy godmother appeared and said, "Take this young girl as your wife, Prince. She is a good person and will be a wonderful wife." The prince married Cinderella and they lived happily ever after. So what's the meaning of the last paragraph? The prince realized that as the slipper suits her very well, he understand that Cinderella was the girl who came to the ball on the previous day and danced with him. So at that time the fairy godmother appeared there in that place. Appeared means she came at that place and said, "Prince, take your girl. This is your girl, your wife. She is a very good girl and she will be a very good wife for you till your lifetime. So you take her." So both of them left Cinderella's house and the prince take Cinderella to his palace and they lived. Prince got married with Cinderella and both of them lived very happily. Okay, this is the story of Cinderella. Children, have you all liked this story? Very interesting story, right? So this is a fairy tale. So today I am going to give you a short homework for you. So daily take one page and read. Okay, just if you want any help, get help from your parents. If you have any doubts in reading some difficult words, so keep on reading daily once this story. Okay, so that your reading skill will improve. That's all. Hope you all like this story. Okay, thank you.